Hey everybody, we are covering 5 things I wish I'd known before jumping into Season 4 of Diablo 4. It is an absolutely incredible season. Now, the tips here are going to be things that I found very pleasantly surprising as I started playing through my early game leveling, and I wanted to share them with you. Let's start off with the very first thing. We are very much dominantly in Helltides, and one of the coolest things that they have done that we are able to actually level early game with Helltides alone is they've also made some changes to the mystery chest, and it is super cool. It's a great early game focus, and it can help all the key elements that you have going on in your season. So as we come out here, I'll actually run out here a little bit, and we will go just check that. Okay, so right here, if you can see on the map, I already have a mystery chest just right outside. So we are from the very beginning going to be collecting this. The thing that they changed is that all chests are mystery chests, and they are cheaper in early game. So there are 100 cinders to open these. So of course I knew that was coming. I thought that was a really cool change. But what was super exciting is that how much they actually impact our early game, because it's not just the gearing that we know we're going to get out of those, but a major boost in XP when we open them, and a major boost in the Wolves Honor, which is the key function for the seasonal mechanic. So you gain more honor and you unlock cooler and cooler things. Now, because they're so crucial, it's really a great thing just to target how many can you get in a single Helltide. Every time we get 100, we want to run over it and get those chests and just keep moving up our leveling and our gear and everything and the honor with the Wolves. Now, know that they are not carrying over. So yeah, you end at the top. I think it's like at 150 or the 50 minutes in every hour. Then they're going to stop the Helltides, and then 10 minutes later, they launch again. But the cinders do go back to 0 as they've always done. You want to target events like normal, because the events drop a ton of cinders, but they're also dropping a ton of obols, which have become far more important in this season than ever before. Okay, so we have jumped over here to the purveyor of curiosities, because gambling has become crazy important in this season. That's why we're collecting those obols. And why it's so important is because for the first time, we have a Codex of Power that whenever we get an aspect on any item and we break that item down, it goes to that Codex of Power. Well, gambling has increased the ability for it to drop higher quality items in general. So it allows for us to actually target those all those aspects and start building up a strong Codex of Power. So by end game, we are actually looking at the ability to put our build together very fast. Now, the targeting has always played a major role, that you can pick which items you want. I recommend early on, when you're building up your Codex of Power, that you actually gamble for the cheaper items as much as you can. Obviously, we do want the weapons, even though they're a little bit more expensive than armor, because we do want offensive things to still roll. And so it's these items, or these one-handed weapons, as well as any of the armor pieces. We want to gamble more because we have higher chances to get those legendaries. Now, save your obols in early game until you are naturally dropping legendaries. So as legendaries start to drop for you just out of chest and out of Tree of Whispers, or just on the ground when you're fighting monsters, then that's when it'll finally be available to you to start then gambling for those and getting those aspects and collecting them up. So obols are so important that they actually did another thing, and I'm so glad that they did. Let me show you guys. I don't know how many people make sure that they do this early in the game, but we're looking at seasonal blessings where we get the smoldering ashes. With the smoldering ashes, we can put into points to get different things. Well, they have added the ability to get more obols from Helltide chests. So because the obols are so important, and because we're building up that power, I would highly recommend this. I'm not going to put my points here first. I'm going to always make sure it's XP when I'm leveling, and then I'm going to bring it over here to start doing that. So I just like that they've added this, because this is also not the only reason that obols are important is for the gambling. They've done something even cooler this season. So it keeps adding more and more to the game in a way that I think is making stuff that's always been in there just far more useful than it's ever been. So what is cool here is the Apothecary has added a new set of seasonal elixirs. These are elixirs that do some crazy things and can do a ton of damage. They have a % more experience than if you're just running a regular elixir, but they cost obols, or murmuring obols, to buy. So it's 350 to buy one. So I could buy one of these if I wanted right now. I'm not using them. I was using them. I have one sitting here. So, but what's really cool is they have the ability to clear monsters a lot faster. So after killing an enemy, increase movement speed. So this is moving you around faster. And the other one is shooting out holy bolts. Let's float over that. shooting out holy bolts of fire from the corpses of that enemy. So after you kill an enemy, that corpse drops and then shoots out a bunch. It just clears everything like mad. So it's, you know, for the time that you're running this, 15 minutes, it's just really fun. I think that's, yeah, it's halftime for what the regular elixirs do. But if you are just looking to clear through Helltides like crazy, level up super fast, using some ovals to do here or to do this can actually level up very early. My recommendation, I thought this was cool. I've been finding them. I have not bought one yet, but the fact that you can do this, I thought was really neat. Early on, I still want to go to that gambler and make sure that I'm doing that. Cool. So we are going to be spending a lot of time in this camp right here, the Iron Wolves encampment. This is where we turn in all of our seasonal stuff and where we're starting to build up the honor to get special items. Now, what was absolutely crazy, and this was so exciting, like I didn't know it was going to happen. When you come in here and you're doing these little quest things, the 2 wolves, as you build up more reputation, you unlock these things like we've seen in previous seasons. This item right here, the Traces of the Maiden, this is a special, unique reputation cache, which I didn't know when I picked it up and opened it up, but it dropped 2 uniques. So I'm in early game, I'm level 30 right now, and I already have Howl from Below and a Ring of Mendelin. This is insane. The ability for us to mess with uniques early game. I think it's amazing for anybody who's really a casual player. It isn't blasting to the end all the time. They can experience some of the really neat parts of this game, which are the uniques in the system. So do not sit on this. As soon as you can build those up, and you just do it by grinding in Helltides and doing what the seasonal quests say, and you'll get there pretty fast. It was shocking how quickly this happened. So that is the 5, but I do have 2 additional bonuses that didn't make it on the base list, but they are super important. Obviously in early game, because they have changed the game so much and you're doing a lot of grinding, you still want to get those legendaries early because you can add them to break them down for the Codex of Power, or you just get more powerful. And I just want to talk about where the best places, even before I was like naturally dropping those, where they were kind of landing, I kill a monster and they fall on the ground. There is places where I was basically head to toe already in legendaries by, I think, like level 20. The first thing that is really great way to do that is these season journeys. If you haven't focused on, I'll move my head out of the way a little bit. So each of the chapters has certain objectives. If you've done any seasonal stuff, these are great. These caches, as you unlock, I've already unlocked 2 of them, are one of the first places that I got solid legendary and solid gear that I've been holding on to. Now, the second place, and we just looked at it a second ago, is obviously, if it's giving out uniques, it's giving out good stuff in general. So is just completing these. As you naturally do the seasonal quest, you are going to get very solid aspects or legendaries very early, and the great aspects to start building up your Codex of Power. So this is just an awesome way to get your legendary gear on point very, very fast. Now, the other thing, and this is something that I didn't really think about. I thought they were going to make it like a lot more prohibitive to use in early game, but they did not. The cost of coming here and tempering early, as you start to get recipes, those are the, as you unlock them in Helltides, they drop these recipes for special tempering. And in these, so we have the different types, we start collecting, and then we can finally show things here. That allows us to add in early game, even legendaries. I think you can only add, select recipe category. You can only do one tempering on it, so it's not 2 like it is in endgame, but it was not expensive at all. So I'll click here on mobility. I don't think I can click it. So Necro Motion. So I'll go and click on that, and here's the cost. It's 5 raw hide and 2 veiled crystals, and I have plenty at this point. So definitely something that you're not going to want to sit on. Do this early. Now, if you want to catch all of the changes, all of the nitty gritty details of what's going on, I did create a video, 16 tips and tricks that are going to absolutely let you crush the season 4 start